Hey everybody, so today we're gonna be kind of chill today. I got a request from this person to read a underswap papyrus X weeder one shot to be specified. They mentioned in the live, so I have like two different screenshots maybe over here. Either way, so I decided to take it nice and simple and just read a simple one shot. All right. This one shot I'm gonna link this one shot book or what fanfic or whatnot in the description down below, because they have like multiple one shots of different very different Undertale characters and yada yada. I will also be adding this to a playlist called random one shots when I do a random one shot for you guys, and it'll probably be mixed up and all there, but at least it'll be in a playlist, right? Anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Hey y'all, so this is I changed my mind about which one shot, which different one shot book I would be reading. This is the one I most likely will be reading. It's just continued, sadly, but there's multiple one shots on here. I'm gonna link it in the description, like I said before. Anyways, oh yeah, and also horripilation means that your hair stands up on its end, apparently. I probably said it so wrong, but it's okay. Anyways, let's get into it. You're heading over to your boyfriend's house to hang out with him. He was a skeleton monster from the underground named Papyrus. However, whenever he had you stay over, you always slept in the living room. Sans had told you that his room smelled like stinky socks. The smell wouldn't bother you so much, but you had this thing with bad smells. If you smelled them, and they smelled really bad, your hair would start to poof up and rise. Not the hair on your arms, like what happens when you get goosebumps, but the hair on your head. But it didn't go straight up like it was coated in gel. You arrived, taking a deep breath, and head inside. Papyrus! You called, "I'm here." He burst out of his room. You covered your mouth and nose, pretending to giggle, but actually blocking out the smell. He shut his door and basically fell down the stairs. You could just tell he just got up from a nap. "Did you just wake up?" you asked. He nodded and stretched out his arms. Sans brought some cookies over when he was cooking with, I can't even say that name, earlier. He said, "Ooh, chocolate chip?" You said. He shook his head and said, "M&M." "But that's pretty much the same thing," you scoffed, making him chuckle. As you and him were munching on some cookies, the door banged open, startling both of you. "What?" You started choking, and Papyrus helped that chunk of cookie out of your throat. "What's up, nerds?" Alfie shouted. Alfies shouted. Papyrus glared at her angrily as you panted heavily. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say that. And Sans walked in to see Papyrus holding you against him, and you breathing heavily. And I started blushing massively. I don't know how, smirks evilly, and Sans just stood there confused. "Are we interrupting something?" Alfie taunted. "No, but you nearly killed my aunt," Papyrus growled. "What are you talking about, Papyrus?" she asked. "When you slammed the door open, you scared the crap out of her and made her start choking on the cookie she was eating," Papyrus said. "I had to help her cough it out, or she would have suffocated." "Oh," Alfie said, shuffling her feet. "Sorry, Ryan." He took a deep breath. "It's okay, Al. I don't know who chokes on cookies, but okay. Those must be some very small or throat-sized cookies," you said. You stood up, taking some deep breaths to get your bearings back. "So what are you guys doing here?" you asked. And Undying's TV broke down, Sans said. "Nupstation accidentally hit it." I can't say that, said. "More like he played his music so loud that it exploded," Alfie complained. "Anyways, we're gonna watch anime, but since we couldn't, we came here to watch it," Sans said. "Since we have a big TV, I thought it would be the perfect idea." You just shrugged, completely fine with it. They smiled and set up the living room for their anime marathon. Can I join? "Come on, YN," Papyrus said. "Let's just chill out in my room." You froze at the thought of his room. Nah, we can hang out here." You said, but you said you didn't like anime. Well, that's not me. Well, then we should head over to Muffet's. You said, hoping you would agree. He furrowed his bone eyebrows. Wyan, come upstairs with me, he said in a stern way. You gulped and made your way upstairs with him. Wyan, why do you always get so nervous when I mention going into my room? Papyrus asked. You just shuffled your feet and lowered your head. He sighed and placed his hands on your shoulder. You know what would never hurt you, right? He said, it's not that. You said, what is it? He asked. Sans told me your room smells really bad. You said, oh, come on, it's not that bad. He said, rubbing your head. Sans just exaggerates about the smell since it's the only bad smell in the house, besides his cooking. You look away. Do you have a sensitivity to smell? He asked. You could say that. You stuttered. Well, I promise that this won't be too bad, he said. You took a deep breath, but followed him to his room. Before walking in, you took a deep breath and held it in. Right when he opened the door, you pinched your nose and walked in with him. Papyrus saw you holding your breath. His shoulders slumped. When you can't hold your breath the entire time in here, he said, take your hands off your face and take a breath. That kind of reminds me of Ursula for some reason. Because she's like, not take a breath, but like, I don't know, take a breath and take a gulp or something like that. I don't know. That reminds me of that for some reason. Ursula's been in my mind lately. Okay, anyway. You shook your head. It was now turning red from holding the air in. You grew worried and grabbed your arms, pulling them away from your face. You squeezed your eyes shut to try and hold the rest of the air in, but he pressed on your cheeks to make you exhale. You were desperate for air, so you inhaled deeply. Then the smoke got into your nose. It was so bad. Your eyes wind up. Your hair began to poof up and rise. Your eyes started tearing up as Papyrus looked at you in surprise. Ooh, that kind of rhymed. What's going on with your hair? He asked worriedly. You couldn't take it. You dashed out of his room and out of the house. You were taking deep breaths and headed to Muffet's for the sweet scent of her pastries to enter your nose. Hello, Wyan, she said as she cleaned the countertop. She saw your hair poofed out and slowly going back down. What happened? She asked. I went into Papyrus's room. You said, she said. She already knew about your horripilation, and because you told her about it. And because she saw your hair poof out when someone ordered a stinky cheese omelet at the NTT resort. How did he take it? She asked. I don't know, you said. The smell was so bad that I dashed out before anything else happened. She handed you a scratch and sniff. What? You scratched it off and it smelled like cupcakes. Your hair smoothed back down. Thanks, Muffet, you said. She just smiled and continued wiping off the counter. Papyrus came into the cafe and you looked around to see him. Why, and there you are, he said, and he ran up to you, hugging you tightly. You were very surprised. You're not weirded out? You asked. What do you mean? He asked upon my horror whatever-pilation. You said. He raised a bone brow. You sighed and said, whatever. Horripilation is when your hair stands up on end. I have a strong horripilation on my head. So my hair puffs out like that like it did in your room. It mainly only does that when something smells really bad. Oh, that explains why you never want to come into my room. He says, you nodded. He said, you nodded and looked down. Honey, I don't think it's weird, he said. In fact, I think it's kind of cute. You looked up at him with a playful, offended face. I'm not cute. I'm cool. You declared, nope, you're as cute as a marshmallow. He said, then he nuzzled your face. Like, man, this so reminds me of, like, different Disney characters. It's ridiculous. Goodness. Then he does his face into your neck. Papyrus, stop. You said, we can't do this in public. He stood up and sighed, knowing you were right. How about you chill here and I'll go clean up my room, do my laundry, and spray my room with some air freshener. Boy, finally, he suggested. What do you say to that? I say that Sans is going to be asking if you're the real papyrus, you teased, making him laugh. He gave a small wave and headed to make his room a bit more comfortable for you. After a while, Papyrus came back, saying it was all ready. You both said goodbye to Muffet and headed back to his house. He brought you up to his room. It was all cleaned up and it smelled like peppermint. You smiled and hugged your beloved boyfriend. I never thought ever in my life that you would do this for me, you said. Honey, I would do so much more than clean my room for you, he said. He leaned down and kissed you on the lips, and you happily kissed back. I hope he cleaned his skeletal body too. When you pulled back for air, you said, I love you, Papyrus. I love you too, Ian, he said. Then he lifted you up and brought you over to his bed, and the two of them spent the rest of the day snuggling each other. Now, isn't that cute and adorable? Oh, whoopsie. I don't know what happened, but something happened, but I'm here now. But that was kind of cute. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I never read an Undertale fanfic in my life. Like, actually, no, I can't lie. Like, maybe I read like one or two, but it wasn't like a lot. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there is more Sans X Reader than anything else in this world, bro. When I tell you, before I thought like this person wanted a one shot, I looked for like, it's really hard to find underswap papyrus X Reader because there's barely any. I literally only found 2 that were fully completed, and to my comfortability of reading here on Wattpad. And whenever I looked at AO3, it was just filled with Sans X Reader. Even though I literally specifically said underswap papyrus X Reader. No, bro. No, bro. It was a very bad no-go. So, yeah. Anyways, back to me. Okay, so that was interesting. At least they got the happy ending they got, you know? Just like, yeah. Also, the reason I look insanely pale and look really tired right now is because I stayed up till like 3 in the morning, like 4 in the morning, getting like comfortable for bed and all that because Chica, I stood up really late for that, girl. I swear. I'm not mad. I'm just like, I wish I'd done her so much earlier so I didn't have to stay up so late. And I edited her this morning, so that's why the posts are a little bit late. Oh, oopsie. The posts are a little bit late, and the pictures are a little bit late, but they're there now. They're there, don't worry. But, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing videos, guys. If you have any more requests, or, you know, like, yandere requests, like, those are different from, like, these random one-shots, because the yandere requests are just specifically for yandere area, okay? Or, I don't know, I have to figure that out specifically, but for now, it's mostly for, like, yandere creepypastas. Random one-shots right here is going to be filled with random one-shots that I pull out from other books. Unless I'm reading a whole fanfic, all of the one-shots. But if I'm just picking 1 or 2 one-shots out of a book, out of a fanfic, then that will be in the random one-shots area. A playlist. So, just in case anyone gets confused, comments down below if you guys have any suggestions of what random one-shot I should read next. Or any suggestions of any, like, love stories or, any fanfics I should be reading. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be maybe reading a new one today, or I might save it for Wednesday. I'm not sure, because I might or might not be posting 2 videos today. Maybe. I'm not sure. Y'all will find out soon enough, right? Anyways, bye and peace.